Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is a video on all of the ant colonies that I have at the moment as of recording this video. The first colony we're seeing is Monomorium subopacum. This species is very fast growing and can inbreed. My current colony has 3 queens and at least 30 workers. They have lots and lots of larvae, as you can see, and eat lots of protein. When I got the colony, it only had about 10 or so workers, and very quickly grew bigger because, well, Monomorium, they grow extremely fast. As you can see, the colony is moving brood into the little dark area there, the mini hearth. They really do not like light in the slightest. There are 2 out of 3 queens standing over some pupae and pre-pupae. The other queen was hiding in the darkness somewhere, so I couldn't get a shot of her. These queens have been laying lots, and probably because I've been feeding them pretty much every single day. There's a worker with an egg right there. There's more pupae in the background there. There is also, all that larvae that you're seeing is going to become pupae here pretty soon. This is the outworld where not much is going on. This worker can't really decide if she wants to go and explore or stay in the nest. I fed them these mealworms today, as I have pretty much every single day. They absolutely love crickets, but they also love mealworms just as much. I've also been feeding them sugar water and honey, but they've been more or less craving protein over the last few weeks because of, them growing really, really fast. The worker came back out with a friend this time. I'm guessing to go check out the food, but they obviously didn't get the memo because they end up going out and just exploring somewhere else. Don't know where. There's really not much else in that outworld, but hey. She gets to decide what she wants to do, I guess. Next up is my Monomorium bicarnatum colony. They have about 50 workers and 2 or 3 queens. I don't really remember. These guys have been growing really fast and have tons of larvae. The queens aren't much larger than the workers, but that doesn't mean they can't lay a lot of eggs. This is the larvae that have been carpeting the water tower for a good while now. A lot of this is actually going to become pupae pretty soon, which is pretty good, seeing as in they don't really have that much pupae at the moment because they just had a massive worker boost. They also don't seem to be that bothered by light, which is interesting because the Monomorium subopacum and some other ants on this list are also like very, very scared of light, which is pretty interesting. It's a nice little observation I saw. There's a worker tending to some eggs alongside all the larvae. I just really enjoy all this larvae, especially those large ones up there, because I don't know if those are male or not. It's a possibility they're male. It doesn't mean that any of the queens are infertile or anything. It could just be an accidental, like an egg that they eat that ended up getting to larvae, which those males will just end up dying because the colony will eat them. That's some of the new pupae that they just got. There's also some pre-pupae larvae in there as well. They put them all in that little corner just because of the heat. I put a heat mat right in that little corner. I don't want to cover the entire nest. Just give them a little bit more variety for their heat. The next colony up is my black crazy ants. They're probably one of the most videoed ant colonies in my entire collection, purely because of just how, crazy they are with growth. Recently, though, they have been slower inside of the outworld purely because the room that I have them in is very, very cold. The nest is very warm. It's about 80 degrees at a constant rate. But the outworld is normally around about 60 to early 70s. These guys really like mealworms, but they also, like, an absolute favorite of theirs is gonna have to be crickets. Whenever I give them crickets, a lot of the colony comes out to eat, and they try to drag it into the nest entrance, but they can't really because it's too small. They also really like sugar water. That's probably their all-time favorite food is sugar water. They aren't really that much of fans of honey, because I think it's way too thick for them to eat. Here are a few workers trying to drag up that mealworm piece for further consumption. They're also trying to do it with the ones in the background, but those ones don't really have that little like string thing that the other ones do. I feel like they'll eventually try it. And here is terrible footage of the nest. I was trying to get good video of it, but it's very hard to. There's a little bit of that green tape. Let me get out of here. Because it's very hard to film in a vertical nest, especially since they don't really have water towers in every single one. They only have a water tower in the bottom level. But the bottom level doesn't have that many workers or even really that many queens. It's all within those middle two chambers. There's all a few squished workers there when I moved the glass on accident. You can see a queen in there. There it is. There's a little queen. This colony has about like 43 or so queens. They might have gotten more since the last time I added queens. But very large colony. They're growing quite well despite their really cold outworld. It seems like they're very, very cold resistant compared to all the other ants that I keep. There is a pupae pile, or a pupae tower as I like to call it, because they like to string up the pupae from the ceiling and make it go all the way down. Here is my 5 queen Formica substracea colony. They grew a lot this year. They're starting to get ready for hibernation, so they don't really have that many, or really any brood in the slightest. The colony when I got them was only about 20 workers. Now they probably have around 70, which is great growth, especially for a species like this. Also, you can see me struggling to record this colony because they completely trashed the glass that I can see them through. But at least I got a little bit of good footage, I think. They also really like their sugars, their favorite being sugar water, like all the rest of the colonies. They also love to eat proteins, mainly mealworms and crickets, just like the rest of my colonies. You can see them all ballooned up, and there's a struggling worker, it looks like. Here are my Camponotus consabrinus. They've been growing great. They're probably one of my favorite colonies in my entire collection at the moment, just based off of growth. I've never kept a Camponotus species that grows this fast like the Camponotus consabrinus. You can see a good egg pile there, alongside some pupae and larvae. They have about 25 workers, probably the best growing colony in my entire collection. Their favorite food is definitely... I messed that all up. No, we're gonna continue. The favorite food is definitely mealworms and crickets, alongside some good old honey and sugar water. They aren't really that big of fans of honey as well, just like all the rest of them are, so yeah. This colony also has a lot of media workers, which is a good sign. That means I'm feeding them lots and lots of protein, to the point where they're actually able to make the media workers. Here is my Camponotus festinatus colony. They are very small. They just got workers, like, not even a few weeks ago. They aren't honestly that interesting. I got them for free, pretty much. They're honestly, they're just small Camponotus. They're really not that interesting. They're just yellow. I don't understand the appeal of things like Festinatus, Fragilis, and all those. I'm going to try to keep them, see if I like them, see if there's something special about them that everyone loves. them about, but honestly, they aren't really any better than Consabrinus, Novoborkensis, and Pennsylvanicus. Well, they do have one thing that they have above Novoborkensis and Pennsylvanicus, and that is the fact that they don't have to hibernate. But other than that, there's really not that much to them. Here are my Messer Barbarus. These guys are probably the easiest ants I've ever kept. One of the most annoying to film because their test tube is kind of bad. They have been in this test tube for their entire life. I've literally just fed them seeds, and every once in a while I'd give them protein. That's pretty much all it takes for them to thrive. You just don't really bother them that much, and they'll live. But saying that, I do like them a lot, just purely because I can just like put them away and just sort of ignore them if I really want to. Their queen is really pretty, although she is on the darker side of the redhead. The workers, they're just pretty much completely black. She has a lot of eggs also, which is a very good sign that she's going to be growing a big, nice colony. Their diet pretty much just consists of seeds, protein every once in a while, and that's it. I don't ever feed them anything else other than that. I've never fed them sugars or anything like that. It's just been seeds and protein. That's all they need to live. Actually, in the back, you can see workers trying to crack open a seed to make ant bread. That's actually really cool. I hate my phone so much. Why are you doing this now? Why? You were quiet the entire time I've been recording this. Here are my beautiful Formica parasite queen. You do not see her in the shot right now, and you can see dead workers, but that doesn't mean that she's not laying. This colony is probably doing the worst out of every single one, purely because, well, they're Formica and they have a really dirty tube. I need to clean it out every once in a while. This Formica colony, much like my other Formica colony, just like meats, and sugar, water, and honey. That's pretty much all they need to live, to be honest. She does have eggs. I don't know where she put them. This is the first time I've actually seen this type of Formica parasite queen in my area, so I have another one that is just like her that I'm hoping to also get to workers as well. She doesn't have that many hosts, which is kind of a bad thing, I guess. I'm gonna have to go get her some more once spring comes along. And these are my Brachymyrmex 2, also known as Plagiaulepis. I can't even record them, really. You can see eggs there. Can't really record them at all because they just cover the entire thing with their bodies. They eat a lot of protein and sugars. Their queen lays a lot of eggs, like, constantly. That is whenever I feed them, which, yeah, I usually feed them about once a week. And there's another big egg pile right there. The queen is very, it produces a lot of eggs. She's very good at that. And I can't see anything at all, so it's great. Beautiful footage right here. Here is my Camponotus novoborkensis colony. They are pretty big. All these workers are boosted from a queen. The queen is actually starting to not lay anymore. At least I think. I haven't seen her in a very long time. It's because it's becoming winter and these guys need to hibernate. So yeah. You can also see even more majors and all that. These majors on this species are very bulky. They aren't really long or anything like that, so their heads are just extremely wide. These guys, they completely trashed the nest, just like in any Camponotus fashion. It's just completely filled with them. Oh, and there goes my light, great. Even though I made a video on these already, I just did a very quick panning over because I can't really record them that much. You already know what they eat: mealworms, sugar water. They're growing extremely fast, lots and lots of majors. One queen died, so I only have 2 workers. 2 queens, not 2 workers. I have more than 2 workers. Lots and lots of majors, lots of pupae, lots of everything. This is the outworld. It's very dirty, as you can see, as always. They are eating some mealworms this time around. Last video they were eating crickets, I believe. Honestly, there's not much to really report on them since the last update video. I mean, this is literally recorded, I don't know how long ago. Not very long ago, maybe a few days. So yeah. Here are the colonies I couldn't really go on. There's the Polyrachus. They're doing okay. Growing pretty well, I guess. This is the Liamatobum and Piculatum I got. Can't really record them that well because, well, you know, there's a long thing. And this is my Myrmica and Completa. Didn't record them because I literally just got a shot of them yesterday. And here are the Solenopsis xyloni, which escaped today, which is just great. Didn't get a shot of them because they're doing really bad recently. Yeah. Thanks for watching, I guess. I mean, I don't know if this is going to become a average thing or not, but I mean, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you don't. I don't really care.